Of all of you in the audience today, how many of you are looking to raise capital either right now or within the next 12 to 24 months? Hands up. Okay, so more than 50%. Okay, so some of what I have to say hopefully will be relevant. Actually, clicker. Is there a clicker? Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you guys about are the sources of capital. And we'll talk about the broad sources of capital. Some will be more applicable to you. So as we talk through this, think to yourselves, what would be most applicable to my situation? So this slide essentially talks about all the sources. The first would be your own sources. Savings, credit cards. For high school students, probably not so much. But for the adults in the room looking to grow their business and expand, you obviously would start with yourself. But you don't want to overextend yourself, so you might also reach out to family and friends. The pros of that would be it's easy access. Everyone knows their family, and you'd obviously reach out to the friends that are most likely to give you capital. The trick is, if things go sour, it can be very awkward. But in terms of the availability and applicability in Jamaica, if you look at the circles to the right of the slide, green means high availability or applicability. The HNWI stands for high net worth individuals, so basically rich people. If any of you in here know rich people, that's good. You can go and pitch your idea to them to get financing to grow your business. Again, easy access, but they will probably ask you for pretty difficult terms. And that's why it's yellow. Oh, you've had the experience? Oh, okay. I was like, tell us about the rich people. Okay, so this is all, and the first three groups that we just spoke about, that is typically equity financing. And I'll talk to you a little bit about equity versus debt in a moment, but let's continue to tick through these. Then you can get a bank loan. That is the most kind of traditional form of financing that most of us know about. A lot of the banks sponsor events. All of us know what a commercial bank is. The problem is when you're going out to market with a new idea and you go to the bank, they'll tell you, well, tell us about your track record. And you'll say, but it's a new idea. That's why I don't have a track record. And they'll say, well, it's going to be very difficult to give you financing. They may say to you, tell us about some collateral that you might have. And collateral is that if they give you a loan and your business doesn't go well and you can't repay your loan, they will then take that collateral and turn it into value or cash for the bank. So you'll say, well, I don't really have any collateral that I can give up easily. So usually, while a bank loan would be good, it's lower cost of financing, it's usually very difficult as a small to medium-sized business starting out to get bank financing. But wanted to put it on there because it's relevant. And in tomorrow's session, there will be a number of different banks, both the commercial bank, the development bank, and I encourage you to ask them very specific, detailed questions about how you can position yourself well to get access to this debt financing. Then there's the trade partner. The trade partner would be essentially a supplier. So the students that had the shirt that turned into a bag and a tote, there's someone supplying you the fabric. And you may not have the money to buy the fabric. So essentially to fund your inventory. So you'd ask the supplier to give you credit. Essentially, can they finance some of this growth for your business until you've sold the product, generated cash, and you can pay them back. That would be the trade partner. I don't think it's incredibly common, particularly for startup businesses here in Jamaica, but it is a source of capital, and one should be creative. Then the last two are essentially what they're referring to as venture capital and private equity. They're really the same thing. Private equity and venture capital are essentially equity capital. Venture is more on the earlier stage, a little bit more risky, more of the startup phase for a business. Private equity would be more on later stage. You have more of a track record, but still not enough for a bank. And so these last two, while they could be good because they're less impact on cash in the near term because you're not paying interest. When you get money from the bank, you have to pay interest. When you get money from an equity provider, you don't have to pay interest, but they're going to take a portion of your business. Now, to put it into context. If you're going to start a business, you own all of the business until you sell a portion of it to an equity provider. And some of us like to own all of our business, so you have to really think about how much of the business you're willing to give up.